Hi, my name's Graham Hugay. I'm here with my house design build team in Fraser Heights, and we're here to share with you an amazing project that we're so proud of. This is a complete transformation. A family has lived here for many years. They love the neighborhood. They love many things about where they lived, but they wanted to have a refresh. They wanted to have a transformation that would allow them to enjoy everything about their house, inside and outside, and share it with their family and friends. We believe we've accomplished that. It's also a project that we've done over several years in phases, and today we get to share all of it with you. We look forward to walking you through the various aspects of what we've accomplished together. Here we are, full circle. Charlene and Keenan. I just wanted to chat with you and just sort of get your thoughts and feedback, and maybe let's just go back to how we met.
I remember distinctly coming upon your booth, or it was a large booth, very centrally located in the home show, and talking to everybody there, and it just felt, it was a feeling. I felt comfortable. You guys all answered our questions. It was very easy to engage. And that's the feeling I had throughout our entire relationship, still have. It's easy to talk to anybody at my house. It's a very personal decision too.
Yeah, I mean, your home is personal.
We're trusting you to make this renovation and the outcome that we are seeking to become a reality.
Well, I know it wasn't a simple process, and I'm sure there was times where there was anxious moments and decision making and so forth, but maybe you can share from your perspective what the process was like going through in terms of, having people come in your home to look at it for the first time, hearing your ideas or not, coming up with new ideas. What were your memories of some of the process that we went through prior to even doing the construction work?
Yeah, well, I think we were impressed right from the get-go because you came in and you talked about doing an audit to test all the systems, to make sure the roof was in good shape, to test the windows, and it just seemed so thorough. You weren't just gonna scoot in and do a lipstick renovation. You were gonna look at it very thoroughly and carefully and make sure that we were making the best decisions. And there were, frankly, lots of decisions that we ultimately made that were not things that we would have ever thought of, that your team came up with, that exceeded our expectations, and we were thrilled with the outcome. The fireplace is one of them.
The thing that I was the most giddy about when we were in the design phase was the front fireplace in the parlor area. I loved the floor to ceiling quartz that sort of just lends the eye going up the wall, flanked on either side by oak panels, and then we had a concrete mantle for non-combustible so that we could keep it nice and low close to the fireplace, and you don't end up with a mantle at chin height. So that part made me pretty giddy.
What were the have-tos that you thought that initiated even the idea to renovate a home? What made you say, I have to have this or else we're moving, or what were some of those?
Well, we got together as a blended family, and we wanted to make our home very much our own.
Well, and you had a vision for wanting to be able to see from the front door all the way through to the backyard.
Yeah, and I remember distinctly when your team arrived on the first day to just get to know each other and get introduced to the site. You asked what my objective was, and I said that I want to stand at the front door and I want to see right through the house to the backyard. And your answer was, we could do that. And I was confident you knew how to do it, but I was like, wow, can you really do that?
So in order to get the view from the front door all the way to the backyard, we had to think about how the stairs would be fairly light and airy. So that pushed us towards an open riser concept, and they were made custom for this home from a local supplier. They're a maple wood, and they're stained to match a lot of the wood elements that you see in the house as far as the color of the island or the built-ins in the family room. And that gave that airiness for the stairs, but then we also had to think about barriers. We didn't want anybody to fall down, but we didn't necessarily want to have a really busy glass railing on all sides. So on the exposed side, closer to the front door, we have a railing with a handrail. It's a partial height glass railing, and it's mounted to the side of the stringer on the stair. But on the back side, on the kitchen side, you don't necessarily need a handrail for security, but you do want to make sure that nobody's going to fall off the edge. So in that application, we went with full height glass from the floor of the main floor to the ceiling, which gives a great protective area, but it's also a bit of a feature even though it's transparent.
So, I mean, let's just talk about function. What is the functional change of your home, or how you use the home? Has it changed from before renovating versus now?
Certainly. We do a lot of entertaining. You know, we probably, well, for both families, both sides of the family, we're the house where all the gatherings are. 2 weeks after the main floor was renovated, we had a 70th birthday party for my sister with 60 people here.
This is a blended family, so they each came with a large expansive family, and they wanted to be able to entertain up to 60 people at one time. So a lot of the driving factor was creating the great room space at the back of the house that integrates seamlessly with the outdoor living. That way, all 60 of their family members could be milling about and conversing with each other. Nobody's off segregated in a different part of the house, and it really makes it quite a conversational area and really conducive to entertaining.
I would say, first of all, people who, because Keenan lived here for over 20 years before we did the reno, and I would say that for people who'd been here before, they couldn't believe it was the same house. And a lot of people who come and see it for the first time think it's a brand new house. It's hard for them to imagine that this could be accomplished in a renovation. So I think they're pretty surprised and blown away.
Family, they really love this house. They love all of it, but especially the outdoor space, because they tend to like to share time over there. It's a very warm, inviting place, right? So this really is, for our family, a very happy place.
From the development of the outdoor living space, they did have a deck, but they didn't have a covered area. They really wanted to make it a year-round space. So there was some conversation back and forth about it being more glass with wood, or whether it's more of a solid roof with shingles and skylights. And we ended up going the route where it's a solid roof with shingles and skylights, just to cut down on the maintenance of the glass for the clients. But it gives them a really wonderful year-round space. They've got outdoor heaters out there, speakers, and with their home automation, they can really enjoy music pretty much in every area of their home. Another area that we addressed for them was they wanted an outdoor kitchen space with a built-in barbecue. So we have that in the open area, sort of the dining area of the exterior. But thinking, you know, using the space year-round, they're not going to want a barbecue in the rain. So we actually came up with a really creative roof structure to allow Keenan to be out there in inclement weather, yet still using his barbecue to full extent.
You know, all of our team, we're very fortunate. They're very passionate about what they do. Maybe are there any little brief stories about the people that were involved in your project that come to mind?
Oh, for sure, absolutely. Morgan was phenomenal as a designer. Like, people walk into the house and say, wow, how did you choose these colors? And everything goes together so well. And we know that we could have never done that ourselves. I built a house previously with my ex-husband, and we had all kinds of complications and made some very poor decisions in terms of color, thinking that shades matched or would go together, and they didn't. So Morgan was worth her weight in gold. She was just fantastic. And so the process was thoroughly enjoyable rather than my previous experience, which was not at all. So yeah, it was great.
And the one thing that I remember talking to some of your team during the construction was they all cared about the project. And that really was important to me.
Well, we are challenged every day, and every year things become even more challenging. But what makes what we do the most fun is finding wonderful clients like you, and I mean that sincerely, because it's been a pleasure working with you. And this is a project we work with homeowners, and thank you for trusting us, and thank you again for inviting us back in your home to have this conversation. And I look forward to carrying on our relationship over the years.
We as well. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
Thank you, Graham.
Thanks, Graham.